Hey, Britt. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we've already been working together for 3 months. This time has flown by, and I've absolutely loved having you as a client and getting to know you better. So I just wanted to call you and congratulate you on this amazing journey and just kind of talk about everything, starting from the beginning. So before we started working together, what kind of things had you tried before and what were your results like?
As far as exercise goes, I wasn't doing a lot before. I was biking on the weekends, so pretty much cardio, that's it. Prior to that, I was doing more cardio and running and yoga. And I just, every time I worked out, I just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And no matter what I was trying, I could not put on muscle. So that is where I was before I came to you. I was ready to stop wasting away and start gaining muscle.
That's amazing. Yeah, that definitely must be frustrating when you're working so hard and you're just not growing muscle. And if anything, you're losing muscle and going the opposite direction. So I totally understand that frustration. So you mentioned a little bit about your training. I'm curious, what were your eating habits like before?
Oh, my eating habits, I didn't think that they were that terrible, to be honest. But now that I know what the proportions should look like in a meal, I realize I was completely under eating on my protein. And in addition to that, I was fully hooked on my Dr. Peppers with like
Yes.
3 to 4 cans every
Oh
day.
my God, I can't believe that still.
Yeah, because one can of Dr. Pepper has more than, your daily sugar. So I was getting 4 times the amount of sugar you should in a day and just kept going and kept going even though I knew it was bad for me. So that is where my nutrition was at. It was pretty awful, but
That's
we've come a long way.
Yeah, yeah. And I know you were kind of like skipping some meals too and like struggling with that. And I think you were also like some days too, like way overeating. So it was like kind of like under eating and then like overeating some days, like on the weekends and stuff.
Yes, it was a very much swinging from
Hmm.
the highs to the lows, and now we've pretty much stabilized that out. So I'm getting hungry at the same time every day, and I'm filling up on the right food.
Hmm. That's good. So let's talk about, where you were and like how you were feeling day to day. Like, how was that, all those Dr. Peppers making you feel?
Oh, you know, the thing with the Dr. Pepper is it gives you that sugar rush, and it's bubbly and it's got the caffeine in it, and I wasn't drinking pretty much anything else that was caffeinated. I was maybe having a coffee here and there. So it was the high of the sugar and the high of the caffeine, and then the huge crash after, which of course made me want to go get another one. And it always felt like the more I had, the more I wanted. I was never satisfied.
That's tough. Yeah. So, how would you say this was affecting like your life and your day-to-day activities?
Well, I was never without a Dr. Pepper. So whether that meant I was stopping to get one on the way or I was taking one from home. I always had a Dr. Pepper with me. I was always looking for my next Dr. Pepper. I really was and am addicted to it. And now it doesn't occupy all of my thoughts and all of my time the way that it did before.
Mhm.
Now, and also with Dr. Pepper, there are so many triggers that I had. Like, I really just love to sit at the desk and drink Dr. Pepper. And a lot of times I would use it as like a self soothing mechanism.
Mm.
And because I limit how many I can have, I'm really looking to enjoy that moment when I have it. And so now I'm using it as a positive thing versus a use this whenever you're sad or upset or things aren't absolutely perfect, and
Mhm.
completely change the way that I view Dr. Pepper. And it gives me this like I'm looking for moments in my week that are going to be exciting or happy. So it
Mhm.
also gets me more excited every week about what's coming up. And even though that has not necessarily about the Dr. Pepper, it's indirectly and made my life better.
That's amazing. That's so cool that you were able to realize that and were able to help we were able to fix your relationship with Dr. Pepper. So where was your mindset at before we started working together?
I would say that my mindset is pretty positive in general, but I was not nearly as kind as myself to myself as I am now. I wasn't participating in anything like affirmations, and I had really only sat down and planned out my goals for my career and things to do with work and the projects to do with work. I had never done that for my personal goals and what I wanted in my life. So I did that during this program, and that was just such a life changer for me because it really, for the first time, I was able to put that down on paper, what it was I wanted, and it clarified so much for me. And it also made me look at my priorities and say, what do I want to spend my time in? What do I want to spend my time on during the day?
That's amazing. So what exactly was it that you were wanting to accomplish with your fitness journey?
Well, I cook for the family, so my cooking totally affects them. And with I didn't want to continue to affect them negatively. So I
Mm,
want to learn more about nutrition, more about cooking, how to maybe take the recipes that I have and alter them to fit our needs.
mm,
And that has happened. That was a big one for me. The other one was I've always, as I said, been able to get smaller, but I've never been able to put on muscle.
mhm.
So I really wanted to do that. And I think that those were my biggest motivators throughout the entire challenge.
That's amazing. Well, I can definitely say you accomplished that. So that's exciting. So let's talk about your experience in working with me. How did you enjoy having me as a coach?
It was wonderful.
Hey, Flip.
Fantastic, fabulous always.
Uh,
So, the whole reason I actually wanted to get a personal trainer in the first place was when I saw you prepping for your first ever bodybuilding competition.
yeah, that was 3 years ago, I think. Time flies.
It's like it feels like a lifetime ago now. And I was so taken aback by your dedication and all the work and your physique. And I was like just amazed by, what you can do when you put your mind to it. For a long time growing up, there seemed to be this idea that, oh, and I understand genetics affect it, but you're doomed to be whatever your
Mm,
parents are or your
I
grandparents are.
see.
And my parents always struggled with their weight when I was younger. They're smaller now. They're much, much healthier now. And I never realized how much control I had over my own health, over my own well-being. And you opened my eyes up to that being possible. And I just didn't have the money. I wasn't there mentally. I wasn't there like ready for that.
Mhm.
It just so happened I'm ready to start that next fitness journey, and you're a personal trainer, and it just seemed like the universe was saying that we needed to work together, and I'm so glad that we did. Your support and the encouragement just helped me get through the workouts, and I would just hear your voice say, "You should go up, it's your last 2 weeks, you should be hitting personal records." And
Yep.
so that I would go and okay, fine, I'll go and up the weights this time, and I just be trying to do it.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, it was amazing. I definitely would not have stuck to any program without somebody there to hold me accountable. And I think the most valuable part for me was the weekly calls with you because I would say to people all the time, be like, "Yeah, that's good, but I don't want to have to explain to Brittany why I did that on this day or something like that." And it really helped me think about, all right, what should I plan my day like? What should I plan my week like? And what's worth it? What's worth it for the health and not? And yeah, so I would definitely say I am totally enjoyed working with you.
That's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. I feel like I had so many things to say, but then you like kept on going, so it's hard to, plug in there. But there was one thing I wanted to mention in terms of like that idea of, our bodies always staying the same, because that's not true. Our bodies can change so much, whether that be in a good way or a bad way or a positive way. And, I've seen my body on both sides, and you've seen that for me too. And, we really can control the way our body looks. It ultimately comes down to our diet and training. So we really do have control. It's not, just genetics or your metabolism, but you can really take control of what you look like. And then I wanted to touch a little bit in terms of, the accountability. So obviously my program is online. Do you feel like you got the proper accountability and support that you needed?
Absolutely. And for me personally, the gym is just not a productive place for me to work out. It doesn't inspire me to work out. I don't like to have to drive to go somewhere to work out. The more steps between me and, actually putting in the work,
Mm-hmm.
likely it is to happen. So being able to work out in the comfort of my own home, no matter what time I needed to do it, I didn't have to worry about the gym opening or closing. I didn't have to worry about other people being there or not being there. It was perfect. And I suppose if you really wanted to, you could input the wrong information, but then you're not getting anything out. So it doesn't make sense to be anything other than brutally honest throughout the program and deal with the negative consequences if there are negative consequences, and deal with, the encouragement and the positive and the, just the words of praise when you do it right makes it so much better. So I would say that it was a perfect balance for me of having somebody to hold me accountable without having to go to a physical location to meet up with you at a certain time of day.
Yes, and I think that this is a really good, like kind of like training program for people, because you can't rely on a personal trainer the rest of your life to get you results. So at some point, you have to take that initiative and independence in your own fitness journey. And I really feel like by having it online, it gives you that independence while me still guiding you along the way, but I'm not like holding your hand. So I feel like it gives you that perfect balance where, like, now after, you could leave me and still feel confident to do things on your own. Would you agree
I
with that, Britt?
feel like um, instead of just saying, this is what you need to do. It was, this is what needs to be done, and this is why it needs to be done. So now I understand the importance of each individual step and what it means to me in my day and my health. And that made a world of a difference. Learning every single skill along the way. That I would say you're right. It's a perfect balance.
So what were some of the actions that you took every week?
Well, so some things that I've incorporated into my routine that I had not been doing before. I have 3 days of weight training. So I was just doing 1 day of cardio before. Now I actually have weight training. It's amazing. I'm actually building muscle alone. And so that's been a big change for me. It's helped with all sorts of things. It's helped with my mood. It's helped with keeping me more energetic. It's helped just the way I view my body. And the other things that I've added to my routine would include some daily affirmations, which I do in the morning. And at the end, I started to do before my workout because I noticed I'd work out harder if I did them right before the workout.
Mhm.
I started doing those, and then the gratitude. I had been doing some gratitude exercises with my boyfriend at night before bed, but I also incorporated some gratitude into my morning routine, where I actually physically write down what I'm grateful for, um, and it just makes me look back over the day and think about all the wonderful things that happened. and think of, and then I also like having to be able to look back and reference all of those things. So
Mhm.
those are things I incorporated. Um, I would incorporated breakfast.
Yes.
That was not happening before. I was waiting to eat until 1 to 3 p.m. before this, and now I'm eating regularly around 10 a.m., which is crazy for me. I've never been a morning person. So incorporating breakfast was a big one. I say those are the biggest changes. And of course, incorporating substitutes for the Dr. Pepper. So I'm not reaching for that soda.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, we've definitely made a lot of little changes, I'd say, in your lifestyle.
It's hard to remember all of the little things because they've been so ingrained in my routine now.
That's amazing.
I could write down a much bigger list if I took longer to think about it.
That's amazing. Yeah, you really have changed so much. So, what did you like most about the program?
I would say that's hard to decide. I'd say the things that I found most beneficial were the one-on-one calls with you. Some of the other things that I really enjoyed about the program was the app that you used for the
Mhm.
workout.
Yes.
Really nice to just, and because I have the Fitbit and other apps, they all just, linked up, and it just tracked all together in that one dashboard. That was really nice. And I would just say you. Can that
Aw,
be
thanks,
the because
Britt.
that's what I keep coming back to. There's these other little things that are wonderful, but really what makes it is getting to talk to you, getting that one-on-one, getting the messages from you, having that accountability, getting the information from you through Facebook or through the weekly calls. I would definitely say that you're what sold me on it. I'm so glad that I chose you as my trainer over, somebody else. And I'd say that, oh, yeah, you were my favorite part, hands down.
Aw, thanks, Brett. Thanks. That makes me so happy to hear. Yeah, I've really put my heart and soul into this program and creating this, and it's just amazing what it's becoming. And I'm so glad that you could be a part of it and helping me with everything with the branding. Like, I'm so grateful, Britt. Like, I'm excited to continue working together with you. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to watch the progression. It almost feels like I've grown up with you a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely have. Definitely. Okay, so I want to go over your results, the exciting stuff. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so I'm just going to go over your before photos and compare them with your after so we can see those differences. So this was your photo back in November 16th. So you can kind of see like a flat back here, a little bit right there. And then when we compare it to your most recent photo, so 3 months later, you can definitely see a lot more definition here in the back and more lift there. And then you can see too with your triceps popping out. So then we're going to look at the first side photo here. So you can kind of see that your stomach is like kind of like slightly outward. And then if we look here at your new photos, you got abs.
Yeah.
uh,
I would have to say, like, it's my butt is maybe not bigger, but it's higher. And
yeah.
I did not expect this. My boobs are bigger than when I started.
Hmm.
So, everyone's like,
Interesting.
oh, your boobs to fitness. That's not happening to me. My boyfriend was just complimenting me on how beautiful and big and perfect they looked
I
compared to when I started the program.
And I think
So,
you said with your back too, that was like the first time you've ever had back muscle.
yes, it's
Yeah.
the first time I've really ever had any kind of upper body strength at all. I've never I've never been strong with my arms or my chest or my back. And I was not able to do a single real push-up. And now I can do 6 in a row. What?
Wow, that's amazing, Britt. That's awesome.
It is. I love that.
So then I wanted to go over your front photo. So we got you here in the front, normal flat tummy. You can kind of see your legs, outward shape. And
I
then,
am so un it's, okay, I'm gonna say this because it's my own body and I can. I
okay.
am so flat and shapeless. It almost looks like somebody photoshopped out every because I'm a stick. I look like a stick. And I'm not and I was very confident. Okay, I'm a very confident person. So
Yeah.
I was loving myself there, or at least I thought I was loving
Yeah.
myself,
No,
like myself. I
yeah.
love myself now.
Hmm.
So,
Amazing.
and when you see this next front one, what I mean, it's like I
Oh,
actually
yeah. Look at those abs.
have
And you can
feminine
tell
shape
your
now.
legs too got stronger. You can see it in the shape. Yeah, you can definitely tell. But I do want to show off your biceps right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's freaking awesome. Yeah, I can definitely tell, like even just in your face, like you're just like glowing. And
Yeah.
like you look happy, but you're just like casual. You're like, oh, I'm here. And like here you're like, I'm
Yeah.
proud. That's so amazing. Yeah, looking at your photos is amazing. It's exciting. Okay, so let's go over your body measurements. Oops, I think I clicked the wrong button there by accident. Okay, body measurements. Okay, so for you, we were looking to build muscle, not necessarily lose weight. So, we pretty much kept your weight the same, but what we were trying to focus on was losing that body fat and switching it out for muscle. So, in terms of the time frame, usually women, we can only gain about maybe 1 pound of muscle max a month. Okay, so we're going to start with the chest. So I do see here your chest went down, so you lost some fat around your chest, so that's good. Same with your shoulders. You lost about 2 inches around your shoulders, so that's just was extra fat. Your left bicep grew about 1.5 inches. Oh
What?
yeah, oh yeah. But I will say I'm a little bit confused on this measurement because your right bicep says 10 inches and it stayed the same the whole way. So I'm not too sure. I think you measured this wrong because it wouldn't make sense that it stayed the same. And I'm also like, I would think it'd be a little bit closer to 11.5 inches rather than 10.
You know what? I think I input it wrong, is what happened.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, because I looked at that and I was like, I don't think that's right. But we can tell here your biceps grew. You grew some muscles.
I did. Oh, that's pretty sad that I didn't put the right bicep in right. Okay, hopefully I got the others right.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, moving forward, we'll be good. And then in your waist, you lost about 4.5 inches
Oh yeah,
or
I started
4
this.
inches. 4 inches. You lost 4 inches around your waist, so that's fat. You lost that, and then that's why we can see your abs now.
I started this. I think I was somewhere around a size 4, and now I am. Even though like my leggings fit me, the waist I've lost so much around my waist that I have to take in everything at the waist now.
That must be a good feeling.
More work, but it is a good feeling.
Yeah, and then in terms of your hips, you did gain some size in your hips, which makes sense because you built muscle around your lower body and your butt. That's why this is your booty gains we're seeing here. So you've got about like 10 inches. That's a lot. I think maybe this first one you may have measured it wrong a little bit.
I probably measured it too high on that one.
Yeah, it could have been. But it looks like either way you gained a little bit of size around there. So that makes sense because of
Well, I do know that my butt has physically moved higher up on my body, and I do have far less hip dips. Now, I know it's not 10 inches, but I know that I have definitely gained.
Yeah, no worries. And then your thighs, it does kind of show that it kind of dropped a little bit. So I know you did lose a little bit of fat, but I also know you built a little bit of muscle because I could tell from the shape. So so yeah, that's all your body measurements. Nice job, Britt.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, how have you changed mentally since then? Because obviously we've done a lot of work, a lot of time has passed, a lot of things have changed. So, where are you now mentally with your state of mind?
I think that I am in a much more stable place mentally. Like my days are better throughout the day. My week is better throughout the week. My month is better throughout the month. And every month I just get so afraid of the upcoming migraine. And to live without that fear is amazing. So I would say I'm in a happier place, I'm in a more positive place, and I'm there more consistently. And on the times that I am, having the normal daily life where things maybe aren't going so great, the little things don't bother me quite as much. And when I am down or when I am sick, I am bouncing back so much faster. If I got sick before in the winter, I was sick the entire winter. Now it's I didn't get sick when I travel. That's crazy. I've never traveled and not come home with cold. So
You have a strong immune system now.
it's amazing. And so there's so many things I used to worry about because of my health. And now it doesn't have to take up that time in my day and it doesn't have to take up my energy. And it's just so wonderful. So
That's great.
I can spend all like time and energy on what actually matters now. And that's fantastic. So I'm also far more productive than I was at the beginning of this.
Mhm.
On and structuring my day, which who knew I would do with a personal trainer, but sitting down and going through my daily routine, that just made me even more accountable to myself throughout the entire day and what am I spending time on and how does it my time matter? And I'm yeah, I would say I'm a better, more gentle person now. Even though I feel like a complete badass.
You're badass babes.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Are there any other areas in terms of how it's affected your life? Maybe like with your relationships, or if you want to go a little bit deeper into your career and how that's affected things?
I would say that this whole journey has definitely helped with my relationship. There, people who are worried about my health because of my bad Dr. Pepper habits. And so it's really helped to lessen that strain on the people who love me. It's also helped me to really discuss what my goals are, where we're going. It's brought us together as we do our gratitude at night. And I would say that it's definitely helped, my I do my biking with my mom and just being able to spend that time with her and get that socialization in with her is amazing. And so it's really brought me closer to a lot of people in my life. And with my career, because I sat down and was so specific in my goals, I, went in for an interview and was just so very honest and blunt about what I wanted and where I was going and what process I was, what step of the process I was on. And it I think was the first time that I've ever just been that open right off the bat with this is where I'm at and this is where I'm going. And if it doesn't work for you, then that's fine.
And you
And
ended
I
up
was
getting the job.
yeah, I got the job and they were just so receptive to it and so wonderful and open and encouraging of it. And so it's great that we were able to come in and we both, we all know what we're looking for and what we enjoy and I just felt so confident because I feel like I'm not hiding anything. This
Mm,
is where I'm at, and this is not where I'm going to stay. And they were just completely, you know, happy for me. And I never felt that confidence before. And I don't think that with this program, I would have been able to do that anytime in the near
Wow.
future. It
Wow.
would have taken years to get that kind of confidence. So that alone, oh my gosh, is going to open so many doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for all my future success.
Of course, Britt. Yeah. I mean, as you've seen, like my duty as a coach is more than just helping you with your physical transformation, but it's really with your mental transformation and even like your spiritual transformation and how you are energetically. So it's just a full on transformation. And the best part is, too, don't you feel like this is your new self? Like you don't see yourself going back into your old ways?
I don't. And I feel like I've always had this idea of who I wanted to be, and I haven't always been willing to put in the work to get there. And I've really taken the steps to get there, and in such a manageable way. Sorry, he keeps bumping the table in
Okay.
such a manageable way that it didn't feel overwhelming.
Mm.
So it it's it was life changing in like a very mellow way, which is perfect for someone like me who's very high strung and uptight.
It was very sustainable. It was a gradual change. Yeah.
Yes, it was like ramping up to it. I never felt like, oh, this is too much. I can't handle this, or I'm just never going to be able to get through this. It really felt like, okay, I'm going to take this one week at a time, one homework at a time. Yeah, it was really great.
I'm so happy. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad. Yeah, this whole experience working with you and seeing your transformation from the beginning to end and hearing your story and how it's impacted your life, like, this is what I live for. So awesome. I'm like, this has been amazing, Britt. I've loved working with you. You've been a great client, and I'm definitely excited to continue working with you. And I'm just so blessed and grateful that the universe brought us back together. And I can't wait to see you continue killing it with not only your fitness, but your life goals.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for taking me on as a client and my crazy addictions and my crazy weird things that are just so abnormal about me. You made them work. So thank you, because yeah, without a custom plan, I just wouldn't have fit with my life.
Mhm.
So thank you.
No problem, Britt.